Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Natha and Deer's Guide to Everything. It's been a while. I know there have been some changes, mainly the amount of hair that I have. You may have noticed, or you may have not have noticed. If you're a new viewer, I'm going to go through the usual spiel. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy today's content. I did promise a while ago now that I would try to move out away from just D&D. After the whole OGL debacle, I feel like having all your eggs in one basket isn't the best place to be. Long story short, I have a super fun video for you today. I've been experimenting with a few new games. I'm happy to report that there are some other great games out there. Me and my friends, I've been roping them into testing a few, and these are my findings. So this video in particular, welcome, is the top 5 reasons that you should play and why I guess I love Cyborg from the creators of Merkborg. I think I'm saying that right, or that's what they're happy with anyway from the videos that I've watched. I do want this to continue to be an educational channel as well as just some opinions from myself, some reviews and things like that. So it is going to be run by you guys essentially. So please make sure you're active in the comments. Tell me what you'd like to see and I'll see what I can do. Without further ado, let's jump into this. I already did that bit, right? Yeah. The reasons why Cyborg is good. Let's go. So, a super easy, number 1, the artwork, flavor, and style of this thing. I have the book right in front of me. I'm not going to use this much. I'll probably throw some images up on screen. That's super out of focus. Look at this artwork. Everything about it is amazing. I feel like just by seeing a few images from this, you can immediately know what it is. So if I tell you one of the descriptions of the game is a nano-infested Doomsday RPG about cybernetic misfits and punks raging against relentless corporate hell, I feel like the artwork actually represents that. Like in one image, you go, I get it. It makes sense. I think also the style that kind of comes into it, the flavor here is very, very relaxed, very, very loose. And this doesn't just come down to the artwork. This is the entire book, the entire module. It is made for you to do what you want with. There are loads of rollable tables and options that I absolutely love. When you're creating a character, there's almost an unlimited amount of combinations. There's a whole page on what drugs you can find in the city. I think if you enjoy anything cyberpunk related at all, you'll enjoy this game. There is a dog. She is blurry. I should mention that all the artwork was done by one Johan Noor. I believe that's how you say it. The rules of text are done by one bloke as well, Christian Silent. I'm sure they had some assistants as well, but that is essentially all you need to know. This game comes from the Stockholm Kartel and is published by Free League Publishing. It has a style unlike anything I've ever seen, and as soon as I saw it, this is what basically brought me in to this world. Next up, and we're keeping these quick, short, and simple because I just want this to be enough for you to say, oh yeah, I'm going to jump in if you were kind of on the fence. The game's simplicity. Now, let me show you something. At the back of the book, one of the best things I think about this is when your game can be basically put onto one page. These are all the rules that you could ever need. And I just smacked the headphones. Probably heard that. These are all the rules you could ever need. And I know you can't see them because it's blurry. I'll put them up on screen now. If all your rules can go onto one page, then I feel like you're onto a winner. Everything you could need is right there. The character creation is simple. It can be as kind of simple or complex as you like. You can come up with your own stuff if you like, but everything is on a rollable table and it's all there for you to just jump straight into. There are a few set classes that you can just dive straight into. They give you some standard gear to use. You roll a couple of dice and you're good to go. I feel like as long as you're in the right frame of mind to be playing a cyberpunk game, I found a lot of the times my players would try to pick out something they could do in D&D and try and pull it into this, but you need to think completely differently. If you have access to the internet all the time, doing research isn't a problem. You just log onto the net and you can just search these things because it's wired directly into your brain. And that's the whole point, right? But it is very deadly, very simple when it comes down to it, really, rules-wise. It's very rules-light. You can kind of go crazy with this stuff. And that's one of the most appealing things about it. Give that book one read-through and you've probably got everything you need straight out the gate, other than the names of places, which you can just make up. You've probably got everything you need right there to just jump straight in. A testament to this is the players that I play with have only been into D&D for like a year or so. We've played one campaign. We played The Curse of Strahd. They have no other tabletop RPG experience, and they got it straight away. We did 3 or 4 sessions, and it was great fun. The next thing, number 3, the next thing I absolutely love is the mission generator. Now, my favorite D&D book, just for reference, is The Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, because in that book, basically in every location that you can go to on the continent of Wildmount, there is like a quest hook basically labeled at the bottom of all of them. It's just these small quest hooks just to get you thinking about what you might want to do, what you might want your players to run into when they go to these places, especially when something is as open-ended as this. I feel like it takes a little bit of the pressure off when you're trying to homebrew, as I love to do. It just takes a little bit of the pressure off and just gives you the seed for an idea. And in this book, there is something very similar to that, but again, it's a bit more in depth and it's random. A mission generator. And now I'll throw up the slides on screen so I don't just flick through the book here, but I'll be looking at the book. Essentially, you go through just a few different things, a few different variables, and you get a very unique mission at the end of it. And in fact, a good exercise might be now to actually do this live. So let me roll some dice and we'll see what we come out with. The PCs, the players, are contacted by a mobster acting on behalf of an arms dealer. The reward promised is a piece of experimental cybertech. Now, cybertech are like implants for the characters to use. This would be very, very valuable in the world itself. So they're contacted by a mobster on behalf of an arms dealer to get a cybernetic implant if they escort a server or a hacker. So I think it would have to be a hacker, escorting a hacker. If we escort a hacker to a shopping mall or a ritual chamber of a strange serpent drug cult. I reckon a ritual chamber of a strange serpent drug cult would be fun. Let's do that. An arms dealer trying to sell to a ritual club place. That sounds fun. That sounds good. And that would be somewhere in the industrial part of the city known as Mosscroft. Sure, don't know anything about it, but I don't need to because I can improvise it because this is rules light. I rolled a 1. The security there, it's protected by the United Citadel Security. So there is only one rule, basically, in this entire book, and is that you do not want to side with corporate entities. They are the enemy. They are always the enemy. That's kind of the only rule. It's on, literally has its own page to say that. There's a complication on the way. Oh no, what happened to our players? Rival punks interfere or are on the same contract. Amazing. So the same mobster from the same arms dealer hired us, but also hired another team, maybe perhaps in the hope that they would kill each other. And that's the ulterior motive that's kind of underlying between there. And that is it. We have a mission. That's amazing. Do you see how simple that was? That took, what, a minute, maybe? I didn't put a timer on it. But all you need to know is they're a mission generator, and it's super fun, super robust, and can really plant the seeds for whatever you want to come. You could make a whole campaign out of what I just did there, this Jade Serpent cult. Expand on that as much as you like. The mission generator, recommended missions, just even a paragraph, which is as much text as that would be, is incredible. Really, really highly rate that. If I ever get to publish anything myself, I'll be making sure I do something similar. This does kind of bring us on to number 4, which I've literally just written the word freedom. And I think this whole book, this whole thing, as well as Merkberg as well, from what I've read, is that it is rules light. It's super simple. When you can fit everything into a book, this big, you know that there's not going to be too much nitty gritty stuff. And there is some, prices of specific items. There is nanobots and like infested things, which is like cybertech infested with alien tech. And it's just fantastic. There are loads of tables to roll on. What I love most about all of this is how much freedom it gives you to tell the story you want to tell. Now, I don't think there's maybe enough here to do like year-long campaigns unless you're really into homebrewing and doing all that kind of stuff. But as a break for me from D&D, me and my players, this has been a fantastic purchase. And as I said, back onto the freedom bit, I'm just hyping it up now. The freedom, I feel like, again, the cover tells us all that we need to know. If you want to play as this guy who has what looks to me to be like a high-powered Barrett 50 caliber sniper rifle, but he also has like a full-on claymore slung over his back in the artwork, and I know you can't see this very well, wearing, it looks like a pilot's helmet with huge spikes coming off it. He has a dress on and, I don't know, let's call them Doc Martin boots on. It's absolutely crazy, and you really can be anything you want. A fantastic example of the kind of freedom this game gives you is, I believe one of my friends picked the Technomancer class. An orphaned gearhead. I apologize. They played an orphaned gearhead. And while rolling, they discovered that they could essentially get a spider tank that could scale buildings and had a cannon. And then we rolled a character features that they had like razor sharp chrome teeth. And that basically became the whole character. The teeth thing. She liked biting people, essentially. And it made for an incredibly hilarious and a bit of a mental character. It created some very graphic scenes in our games. And I would say that I believe this is more tailored to a more adult audience, for sure, 18 plus. A lot of the themes are really quite dark, and some of the character options you can take, again, are quite dark, so it lends itself to being a bit more gruesome. I love that kind of stuff at my table, so thankfully that went down all perfectly. But yeah, there is so much freedom in character creation, in how you want to make a story as a GM as well. I can't recommend it enough. I really think that because it's so rules light, because there's no nitty-gritty, because there's no thousands of pages of lore, you can do kind of whatever you want, take inspiration from wherever you want. You could go a bit more lo-fi with it and go like a Blade Runner style, a bit more kind of dystopian, or you could go super high fantasy, neon everywhere, like it's kind of recommended, like the artwork suggests, and like cyberpunk as well. It can go either way. And actually that also brings us on to the other point. Character creation, I think, is really, really simple, very easy to explain to everybody. All you need basically is a d20, a couple of other dice here and there for the weapons and such, but other than that, it's super, super straightforward. So there are kind of 6 pre-made classes almost in the game, ready for you to just jump straight into, jump with your characters if you like. I feel like most people, if it's their first time playing the game, if you present all these options to them, they'll usually pick one. There is the option to kind of build your own and such, but I recommend just at the start, just the pre-mades are absolutely fine. There are some optional roles in there that you can get some different equipment and things like that, but it is super straightforward, super easy to understand. The ability tests and stuff are exactly what you think they might be. Agility, knowledge, presence, strength, toughness. I feel like you can easily know what those things equate to, essentially. And again, it's all a D20 based system. And even if multiple people take the same one, there are so many options when you're rolling on the tables that you won't have 2 characters that are the same. I think any fantasy that a player might have for embodying like a cyberpunk character, a cyborg character in this case, any of those fantasies can be fulfilled, basically. There are so many options and so many small things that you can do to make that character your own. There is a fantastic, and I mentioned it before, tables and tables and tables on what you can just generate what this person might look like, what their quirks are. For example, there's this whole style page, and you can just decide what they are. This is, again, comes back to the freedom and simplicity. If I roll a D100 and I get, I don't know, glitch mode. What does that mean? That's my style. Glitch mode. Who knows? You can decide that. That's part of the freedom. That's part of the fun of the character creation. Glitch mode. I don't know. Let's say that my eyes have been replaced with LED screens and they look like they're glitching. That's my whole vibe. I wear armor that's also just LCD screens. Glitch mode is my style. Sorted. A feature. Golden grills. Sure, I've got gold teeth too. Why not? Why not? Once, I'm just looking through it, mayhem, sure. Super easy to just embody a character. If you know what they want, you know what their quirk is, I will often pick my nose. That's an easy one. See? Job's good. You can embody that character. You can roleplay properly. Super, super straightforward. And my current obsession, what could it be? Puppets. Fantastic. So I'm glitch mode. I have golden grills. I'm here for the mayhem. I pick my nose. And what did I say the last one was? Puppets, I said. So I also have a friend with me. Maybe a little devil on my shoulder. I'm thinking like a sock puppet. A devil on my shoulder in glitch mode that I think whispers to me, but actually I'm just mental because I have too many cybernetic implants and it sent me loopy. So those are the top 5 and many other reasons thrown in there as to why I really enjoyed playing Cyborg, and I think you should give it a go if you like the sound of this. This video was basically completely unscripted. I just have a few keywords on my screen. Let me know if you liked it. If it seems unfocused, I apologize, but if you enjoyed it and if this is all you needed to try it, please let me know, because if this helps you, then I can do more things like this in the future. I'm currently, we've just finished a Curse of Strahd campaign, which is, I mentioned, that's why we've tried a bit of something else for a while. We're currently in a new Spelljammer homebrew that I put together, and this is with the same group, I should say, and we're playing a bit of Candela Obscura on the side, which you'll see a video of fairly shortly, which is Critical Role's new Darrington Press is new Illuminated World system, bit of gothic horror, very Call of Cthulhu-esque. I wanted to give it a go, and so we have. But I'll stop rambling. This has been Nathrandir's Guide to Everything. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see anything specific, if you want to see me go through some character creation for this game, play some Merkberg, anything like that, please let me know. I've also started recording some of our games, so hopefully you'll see some clips and things from that. I don't have a plan yet to stream an entire campaign or anything, but maybe down the line. I'm still rambling. I'm going to go now. It's lovely to see you all again. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.